Okay, thank you, Archie. Okay, just had to crawl out of there a bit gingerly. It was an honor listening to Katia's speech, which I would also like to say is the capstone on her Advanced Communicator Gold Award, as well as her Distinguished Toastmasters Award. So before I delve into her evaluation further, let's give her all a hearty round of applause for the great achievement. What a capstone it was. The point of the speech was to arouse emotions, and I would like to say that Katia succeeded and exceeded this. Over the course of her speech, she evoked feelings of coziness and friendship, of shock and moral outrage, of sadness and despondency, and finally, of satisfaction and contentment. What an emotional roller coaster it was, just as this sort of speech ought to be. Let me begin by pointing out some of the things I felt she did very well. I felt like her story was simple, but still full of twists and turns to engage our interest. I felt that although the story took place over quite a few years and had several different episodes, it was very easy to follow. I also felt like keeping the number of characters pretty small, but making the characters she mentioned, like Bob and his cousin and the dad and the wise man, very vividly drawn, helped them to stick in our imaginations. What I really liked was Katia's compelling mix of storytelling and self-help advice. She very cleverly wove the idea of being blinded by one's emotions and the toxic notion of comparing oneself to others very deftly throughout the narrative of the story. And I liked how she used the visual metaphor of the blindfold to open and close the speech. It had a real sense of coming full circle there. So a few things I think Katia could improve on is her voice and expressions accompanying this emotionally charged speech. Although Katia did a good job of describing the emotions, I felt like a lot of the time she was more talking about them really like they were happening to someone else far away, and that she had a rather calm, detached, and impassive body language and facial expression most of the time. I also felt like something that would have brought the narrative to life even more would have been a little more information on maybe the setting, time period, and cultural background of the character she talked about. I think that maybe knowing kind of maybe where this was happening, like what part of the world, what culture these people belong to, could help us relate to them and understand maybe where they were coming from with a few things. Perhaps this story took place in Poland. That would make it quite interesting in my humble opinion. So now I'd like to bring things back to say that I think that she used wonderful descriptive language throughout, talking about the tears welling up in the eyes, talking about the man looking at the sunset. I liked how she used these combinations of emotions and visuals to really make certain parts of the story stand out. And I also liked how she used her eyes to show the blindfold at the beginning. So I would like to conclude this by saying I'm very much looking forward to more inspiring and thoughtful speeches from Katia. Thank you.